Hi, and welcome to Inside the Huddle. I'm Daily Review Sports Editor Geoff Stoute here with Central Catholic coach Tommy Minton. A big game this week. The Central Catholic Eagles will host Lafayette Christian in District 7 1A action. Central Catholic enters with a 2-2 mark. They've won 2 straight and opened district play a week ago with a 46-29 victory against Gaydon. Meanwhile, Lafayette Christian's 4-0 this year, ranked number 4 in the latest Louisiana Sports Writers Association 1A poll, and opened district play a week ago with a 56-7 victory against Highland Baptist in district play. You know, Coach, each week your team has gotten better and better. Obviously a young squad. It seems like it's almost like the perfect build-up, and you got a lot of momentum going into this week with a big game.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the goal. I mean, when you look at the schedule before the season starts, you realize that Lafayette Christian is probably the favorite by most people coming into this year because they have, I think it was 18 returning starters off a team last year that went 7-3. Mm-hmm. So a lot of experience back on that team and a lot of talented players. We were young, coming in. We had to replace a lot of guys, and I feel like, we've gotten experience every week. We've played some tough competition early in the year, and this is the game we wanted to kind of be peaking for, and I feel like, hopefully we're doing that.
Like you said already, obviously a big game, big part in deciding the district championship. It's going to be on your home field. I imagine your kids are pumped, and it's going to be an exciting atmosphere.
Oh, it's going to be a great atmosphere, and the kids are excited. It's been a phenomenal week of practice. I told the coaches yesterday when we walked in after practice, I mean, we couldn't have asked for 3 better days of effort so far from the kids and focus. I mean, that goes a long way as to being prepared for game night, and I'm just pleased with the way they prepared and pleased with the attitude, and hopefully that's going to carry over into a great effort on Thursday.
Obviously Lafayette Christian, they have quarterback Zach Clement, who, has got a great arm and is mobile too. Just talk a little bit about, I guess, more in depth about what they bring to the table offensively and defensively.
Well, offensively, they're really tough to defend because most of the times in high school when you go into a football game, you feel like if you take away the run game or if you take away the pass game, you cripple a team. But they do both of those very, very well. If you take away one, they can do the other just as good. So, when you look at Clement, the quarterback, and then Bro, the running back, they're 2 of the best athletes in the district. So we're going to really, really have to do a good job of tackling on those guys. We're going to have to do a good job of limiting big plays. We want to make them try to earn everything. Make them go on 10 to 12 play drives and let them make a mistake and not give up the big play, which, that's easier said than done when you're dealing with a bunch of good athletes like they have. No, they have good size. They run a 3-4 attack, and there's a 3-down lineman, all are good-sized kids. And they got a linebacker, number 3, who's about 210 pounds. That's a really good football player, too. So, they present a great challenge. But, over the years, this is the games you like to be in. You like to be in meaningful games. You like to be in games where you got to compete all week long to prepare for. I mean, if you know that you can show up on Friday night and you're physically superior than the other team, and it kind of takes some of the fun out of it. These are the games that you want to be a part of. These are the games that help determine championships, and it's fun to be in.
So, in other action this week, Morgan City will host E.D. White for the Tigers' homecoming. Morgan City comes into the game with a 2-2 record, while E.D. White is 3-1. Morgan City had a 2-game winning streak snapped a week ago when it fell 44-6 to Donaldsonville. Meanwhile, E.D. White is a newcomer to District 7 4A. The Cardinals last year competed in Patterson and Berwick's district in 3A. They made quite a splash in their first district game a week ago when they defeated Assumption 49-13. As I said, E.D. White is 3-1 this season, and their only blemish on the season was a multiple overtime loss to St. James in Week 3. Meanwhile, across the Atchafalaya River in Berwick, the Panthers will host Ascension Episcopal. It's also Berwick's homecoming, like Morgan City. Berwick will conclude non-district play when they play Ascension Episcopal Friday night. The Blue Gators are 4-0 this season and ranked number 9 in the latest Louisiana Sports Writers Association Class 2A poll. Meanwhile, Berwick was ranked 10th last week, but dropped out of the poll, but still received votes this week after falling a week ago to Newman 37-27. It was the Panthers' first loss this season. Notable in the matchup this week is, 3 of the 4 opponents for Ascension Episcopal, they've just dominated, and of those opponents, 2 of those were Berwick's district foes they'll face later this season, Erath and North Vermilion. So it should be quite a good game in Berwick this Friday. And lastly, Patterson will hit the road for their final non-district game against Class 4A Westgate. The Lumberjacks a week ago had a tough loss. They fell to Class 5A Terrebonne 60-27 in non-district action at Patterson. This will be the 3rd straight week Patterson will face an opponent who's a higher classification team. In week 2, they faced Lafayette High, who was a 5A opponent. Last week, they faced 5A Terrebonne, and this week, 4A Westgate. Westgate has won 3 straight games since opening the season with a loss to Catholic High New Iberia. The wins include back-to-back wins against Class 5A schools. They beat New Iberia in week 3, and Captain Shreve in week 4. Last week by a score of 27-22. That's another edition of Inside the Huddle. Thanks for watching.